So, good afternoon, Ms. Wojcik. This is our presentation of Blackberrying poem, The Thorough Analysis, where we're going to explain the tone, structure, title, literal meaning and theme, sound and rhythm, figurative language and imagery, and poetic devices. So, to start with, we have to see that in this poem, this is a confessional poem by Sylvia Plath, where what we were able to understand at the beginning with Pedro was that it was something related to the murdering of the Jews, of the millions of Jews that were murdered by the Nazis and Adolf Hitler. But we were later able to see that it's mostly of Sylvia Plath trying to explain how she has wanted to suicide herself, and she gives a literal example of the Jews, of how they have been murdered. And another interesting fact is the tone. The tone is very slow, it's very sad, and it's very depressing when she uses the words overhead go the coughs in black cacophonous flocks, bits of burnt paper wheeling in blown sky. She's referring to something very dark, something very sad. Then the structure of the poem is it's pretty long. The poem, in my opinion, it's pretty long. The poem. Then the title Blackberrying. What we were able to understand from the title Blackberrying was that maybe she was picking on the people that liked her and or maybe the people that helped her throughout her depression or were trying to help her, and maybe or she was able to pick the people that were mad or were bad people against her. um another interesting verse that we were able to find was, with blue red juices these days squander on my fingers. I had not asked for such a blood sisterhood. They must love me. Uh, what we were able to perceive from that is that she's trying to explain that she's very she might kill herself, or she might just cut her own arms and start bleeding herself. And then Pedro will explain the other part of the poem.
Okay, so hello, Ms. Wojcik. So to me, she does a lot of paraphrasing, and it seems that to me she is always feeling how she's always alone and how she's like in the middle of nothing. Like in this part that in the when she arrives at the sea, she contrasts between the blackberry fields and the shoreline, and that she's in the middle. She's like going to die. And also, she has a description that it's the feeling of isolation that she feels like there's nothing left for her, and that life is everything gonna be alone. That's for me a part of the poem. Then the how do you call it? The theme is linked in life and death. She puts how the blackberry can be so sweet, and then it becomes so sour, and it just becomes death. So that's to me what she's trying to explain. That I think that she, as herself, is blackberry, and that she can be sweet, but she can also be really, really, really sour or rotten, and that she doesn't function correctly. Then also that she is in a journey, like going through the field, explaining that she knows that she's passing by a new journey this time, and there is communication used as the literary device that's in the 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 language and imagery. She's personifying people and and changing literal meaning to another thing. She says that like she humanizes blackberries and makes them feel like human. And the structure of the poem has three verses, has three stanzas, and nine lines each. So she connects her. She explains. She also connects it to troubling past of her trying to commit suicide, of her depression after breakups, after his brother's death, after her brother died from diabetes, and that can be an example. So this is all very important in the poem. There is a lot of symbolism in the poem. I had not asked for such a blood sisterhood. They must love me. That's like trying to explain that there are people who love her, but that she never asked for it, and that she's explaining over their things in when she was little to when like they accommodate themselves to my milk bottle. That is when she's using a metaphor to explain how she felt when she was little, but now as an old woman.
And
Not old, like older woman. She feels different.
And another interesting part was the part that says the honey feast of the berries has stunned them. They believe in heaven. Maybe she's trying to explain that the small people or the young people that don't have problems really believe in heaven, but she has so many problems that maybe she's doubting if heaven exists or if she will go to heaven because maybe this was the times where she was trying to commit suicide, but she failed, and maybe that might be the reason. So, thank you very much for your time, Ms. Wojcik, and this is our